Right now, everyone around you is buzzing about pool days, road trips, and golden hour photos, and you're just not feeling it. In fact, the idea of stepping outside into that thick, heavy heat sounds less like fun and more like a chore you never signed up for. You don't hate joy, you just hate this specific version of it, the one that comes drenched in sweat, sunburn, and the unspoken expectation that you're supposed to be thrilled about all of it. And here's something nobody really talks about. Summer is the only season that comes with a built-in personality requirement. Nobody questions your mood in November. But the second summer hits, there's this invisible rulebook that says your energy, your outfits, your entire schedule should suddenly orbit around sunshine. So what's really happening in the mind of someone who dreads summer instead of craving it? Let's dig in. Let's start with something science actually backs up. A portion of people process sensory input more intensely than others. This is often referred to as high sensory sensitivity. Psychologist Elaine Aron's research suggests roughly 1 in 5 people fall into this category, meaning their nervous system registers noise, light, and heat more sharply than average. For these individuals, summer isn't just a bit much. It's a non-stop sensory bombardment, blazing heat, glaring light, crowded spaces that never really lets up. What looks like mild discomfort to someone else can build into genuine, low-level dread for a more sensitive nervous system. So if summer leaves you feeling drained before you've even done anything, that's not weakness. That's your body accurately reporting overload. Then there's the social side of things. Summer has this unique effect where everyone's schedule opens up simultaneously, and suddenly there's pressure to fill every gap. Group chats light up, plans multiply. The unspoken expectation becomes, we should all be doing something. For people who find that constant availability more draining than exciting, this creates a strange kind of guilt. Saying, I need space, during summer can feel like complaining about having a social life, which might be the least sympathetic complaint imaginable. But the exhaustion is real, even if it's hard to explain out loud. And on top of the tiredness comes a second layer, guilt about the tiredness itself. A quiet voice that says, I should be enjoying this. When you don't, that thought can spiral into self-doubt that lingers well into August. Here's a detail that surprises most people. Summer doesn't just affect your mood, it affects your biology. Longer daylight hours suppress melatonin production, the hormone responsible for making you feel sleepy. More light exposure in the evening means delayed sleep onset, and over time, lower sleep quality. Some seasonal sleep studies have found that people sleep noticeably less during summer months compared to winter, often losing a meaningful chunk of rest per night. That may sound minor, but stretched across an entire season, it adds up. If you're someone whose mood and patience are closely tied to how well you sleep, summer could be silently draining your emotional reserves for 3 straight months, and you might not even connect the dots. You just assumed you were in a bad mood. In reality, you were running on a sleep deficit the whole time. There's also an identity piece to this. Summer carries a cultural vibe, bright, loud, extroverted, sun-drenched. If that's not who you are, if you'd rather stay indoors with a book in a cool, quiet room, summer can feel like months of being subtly out of place. Humans naturally measure themselves against the world around them, so spending an entire season feeling like the only one who didn't get the memo can quietly chip away at self-perception, even if you don't consciously notice it happening. That's often why so many people feel an almost embarrassing wave of relief when autumn finally arrives. That relief isn't random. It's information, a clear signal about what your mind and body actually need to feel at ease. Here's the reframe. None of this means something is wrong with you. Interestingly, people who prefer calmer, cooler, quieter environments often score higher in what psychologists call reflective or introspective thinking, a trait linked to deeper self-awareness and a richer inner world. In other words, the same qualities that make summer exhausting for you may be tied to genuine psychological strengths most people spend years trying to develop. And yet summer haters rarely get to just dislike the season without commentary. There's always a suggestion, try this sunscreen, wear a hat, just get outside more, as if the issue were ever about accessories. Because summer carries so much cultural enthusiasm, disliking it can feel like admitting a personality flaw. So many people quietly perform enjoyment they don't actually feel, which adds yet another layer of exhaustion to a season that's already asking a lot. So the next time someone asks, "How can you not love summer?" you'll know the real answer isn't laziness or negativity. It's sensory overload, disrupted sleep, social fatigue, and a quiet mismatch between who you are and what the season expects of you. Recognizing what drains you and choosing to protect your energy isn't a weakness. It's self-awareness a lot of people never fully develop. You're not broken. You're just paying closer attention than most. If this resonated with you, drop a comment and share what summer actually feels like on your end. Because behind all the beach photos, there are a lot of people quietly relating to exactly this.